Back to school is busy enough. The last thing you need is shopping that makes it harder. Whether you're moving into a dorm, your first apartment, or just getting organized for the semester, Wayfair makes it easy to get everything you need in one place. Furniture, bedding, storage, decor, study essentials, all at prices you'll love, with fast shipping before move-in day. Get everything you need for back-to-school season. Shop Wayfair.com today.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You alright? I thought we could try something a bit different. What about a little clip show? So you'll notice this is probably going to sound quite crisp and nice. Now, some of the things you're going to hear are a bit janky. There's the dog snoring in the background. These are clips from my Patreon episodes. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through them and pick things at random. Just little segments. Maybe I'll put a little noise in between so you know when each clip ends. Or maybe I'll introduce which one it's from. Maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll just let it play like one long thing that's going to make no sense to anyone. And then at the end I'll tell you what episodes they were from. Maybe we'll do it that way. Who knows? I'll decide in a minute. Obviously I'm not going to release here something that might sound a little bit fucking risky to put out publicly. If you'd like to hear those, join the Patreon. Patreon.com/worldaroundyou. You can take a 7-day free trial. If you join as a free member, you'll just get another one of these clip shows and fuck all else. So take the 7-day free trial if you want to try stuff. Otherwise, £3 a month gets you access to everything on there, including 300 plus bonus podcasts that you can't listen to anywhere else, digital downloads of me books as and when I do them, updates to tell you when the next Rat Pencil case will be out. So here you go. Let's just see how this goes, eh? Yeah, wolf humanoids, dog humanoids, canid humanoids, bat humanoids, foxes even, there could be fox people, innit? There could be fox people just knocking about, and they thought they were going to win because they're all sly and that, being all clever and manipulative and stuff, and thinking, oh yeah, we'll win them over by thinking, and we just beat them with brute force, mate. Just fucking, they're going, all these, they're foxes, these fox people are just there going mental, like maiming and killing like 13 people in a go. They won't all just have blue jumpers in an area, there'll be red jumpers and blue jumpers, which seems to, and if I think about it, some of the areas where there was blue jumpers, where there was slightly nicer houses, privately owned houses, and then the red jumper ones were in the poorer places, where it was council houses and that, so red's Labour, so it's like it's conditioning the kids there to vote Labour. Oh, you like the colour red, everything's the colour red. I mean, you could argue that it's football as well. Football does it to a degree. But it must mean something. Maybe it's got something to do with spirituality, like chakras or something like that. But I was watching Ant-Man the other night, and it's the first time in ages where I've seen it flipped. Even if you look at things like the Aladdin poster, it's got red versus blue on it, the new Aladdin with Will Smith. Don't think the original one had it. And X-Men as well. X-Men seems to use that sort of colour. Marvel does to a degree. But Ant-Man seems to flip it on its head. Now, in Ant-Man, without it, if you've not watched it, turn this off now, but the bad guy is blue, and he uses blue laser beams, fires out blue laser beams and that, whereas the bad guys fire out red things, and the good guys, are dressed in red, so like Ant-Man's dressed in red. I mean, the Wasp's in yellow, but the others are sort of red and black. And what I don't get is, there's all this fear amongst people of lizard people, reptilians, mantids, alien-wise, insect-like aliens. But then we supposedly were more comfortable with the idea of the Greys and the tall whites, the Nordics, the Venusians, because they look like, Norwegians and that, and it just seems odd, I don't think, but maybe this is the start of it. I'm saying it dead confident. Don't worry, I'm not losing my mind again. But do you know the human-animal hybrids, right? Well, what if having the hat on, initially they were like, we need to, this creature came to Earth, looks like a person, but for some reason it's got big things growing out the top of its head, be it horns, eye stalks, ears, just, or a cone head. And they're like, right, I've got to hide this. If I hide this, I can blend in. I'm going to be a milliner. I'm going to make hats. I'm going to make the best top hats this world has ever seen. I'm going to introduce top hats, and then I'm going to make the best top hats this world has ever seen, right? But then, polite society, polite in air quotes, were like, whoa, we should be able to see the top of your heads We need to, which I imagine. I remember watching a dog have its bollocks cut out as well when I was at a vet's once as a work experience as a kid. But I was thinking, if they are putting chemicals in the water, wouldn't that affect dogs and cats? Because we give them the tap water as well, don't we? And is that why we're more encouraged now to spay and neuter our animals? To castrate them, or to whip the wombs out, or the fallopian tubes out, or whatever it is they do with girl animals. I'm not sure if they just tie the cervix in and not like they do with the boy dogs with the testicles. Well, they cut the testicles out though. Baz had his balls removed, so they must do it with all dogs. There's an uprising of blind people, and just I mean, I don't know how that would work or where they would gather, but it'd be pretty sick if they did. And they're just all against the electric cars and that. They're like, bring back the petrol, and everyone's going mental from some form of lithium in the air, which is another thing, right? Imagine if these electric cars are somehow emitting lithium, and we know that lithium is used I suppose mentally ill people, to be able to calm them down and change the way they think and that. Just in the same way that lead supposedly made everybody angry in America whilst it was being pumped out of cars. So maybe there's some form of plan for lithium there with that to subdue people. I don't know. Just a thought, man. I think it's weird. What was I going to go on about with the deaf as well? I can't remember my point about the deaf. That's gone. I can't think about it. But the blind and the cars, just a little something to think about, innit? On telly no more. But anyway, they tell them that, and they got to derail the date. They just got to act as fucking weird as possible and undateable as possible. Whereas the other person thinks they're genuinely been matched up with this person, and they're like, look, we have a psychiatrist. You sit them down with a psychiatrist and that, and they proper assess them and stuff, and so it makes them think that for some reason this is perfect for them. Do you know what I mean? Like the psychiatrist has said this is what would be perfect for you, just to see how much the people trust the science, and how far will these other people go, even though this person is perfectly matched to them, except one of them's acting like a proper weirdo and just being well over the top because they want to win $3,000. You just have a prize like $3,000 or something. Whereas, will they be like, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I think this woman's amazing, or I think this man's amazing. So I'm not gonna act up. I'm not gonna act the bollocks for $3,000. Why is it? It's not worth $3,000 to me. I could fucking get me end away here. They're mint. Look at them. I really want to see them without the clothes on. So you maybe you've got that angle, but I think that'd make for good TV. Don't know what you'd call it, but she didn't like that idea. She thought that'd be unethical, and how'd you get people to agree to that? So I was like, well, what if you tell them both then? You advertise the show as it's a bit of a dating show, and then you tell them both. The other person thinks this is a real date, right? But we're going to match you up with someone who all the same rules. The psychiatrist looks them over, and the psychologists and that, and the dating people, experts and stuff have a proper team, and they properly match them so that they should be perfectly suited. But you tell both of them, you've got to act as weird as possible, and if you derail the date enough, you'll win, $1,000. And they're like, oh, okay. Mate, no worries. I'll make one in a bit. I'll make a drink later on. And then I leave the bathroom, walk around a bit, see some more people that I know, and there's the drinks machines again. And then the whole thing loops over. So I then see Sonic's head again, and I'm like, it's the first time I'm seeing it. But now, what's happened is there's no longer half an hour that I've got to wait till I can join the queue. It's now. I've got to now join the queue to be able to go and get this weird chicken chunk and what looked like a waffle with green garden peas. And then I joined the queue and I woke up. So any sort of armchair psychiatrists listening, what does that mean? What's going on there? I know it's quite boring to listen to dreams, but it was a weird one, and I keep having weirder and weirder ones again, which is nice. I do like them. Nothing really beats one I had a few years, because one of the things with Patreon is I used to send out what was like a list of the dreams, a recap of the dreams I'd been having, which turns out some of them were induced by my head not being very being a bit poorly, if you like. But they were funny and they were weird, and people used to get sent them as letters for being Patreon subscribers, which was a weird thing that I did, and I can't believe that people were into it. And then I just lost interest with doing it, as I say, because I was a bit poorly in my head and I couldn't really stick to anything. Then people were understanding. They were like, oh, fair enough. They didn't need them anymore. They didn't need them in the first place. Probably a really weird thing to get in the post, especially if you've forgotten about it. Just a month's roundup of some bloke's dreams that chops up rats for fun. But yeah, so I just get every now and then, whenever one that I can remember more detail of, I'll tell yous about it. So I'll see yous in a bit, mate. What if it's all on purpose? Because then everybody wants to do that, and then when the parents are saying to them, why don't you get yourself a little trade, go and learn how to be a gas fitter, go and learn how to, make fences, be a fencer, be a gardener, be a landscaper, be a brickie, be a plumber, be an electrician, train, learn carpentry, learn something, learn to be a ceramicist and go and work in a factory making bowls, learn how to do all these things that everybody needs. And the kids are like, nah, I'm not doing that, because if you saw how, like, Wendy Clickleplop is on, X Factor this year, and she's doing really well, and, her dad died and all, pipes are rank. Because if you think about it, think about how probably fucked up the inside of pipes are, where we get our water from, and how all the water we drink is supposed to be old toilet water and other people's shower water, and they might not even be that good looking, mate, so you might not even want it anywhere near you, let alone in your mouth. But yet we drink it because it's been filtered and chemically treated, and then it's chemically treated so that it's only water again, and all of the chemicals and dirtiness have been taken out of it. It just seems bizarre. Right, dog's done. And then, so that means what we have to do is we've got to have fake dogs. What we need is fake dogs. We probably won't be allowed cats either, though. Cats can scavenge, and cats do have a purpose because they keep the rats and the mice away from our houses. So we probably will be allowed cats, and maybe we'll be allowed bigger and bigger cats as the rodents grow bigger, because they're no longer scared of the dogs. Because that's one of the things I reckon that dog piss does when it's getting spread around. It stops the rats from growing bigger, because the rats all morph together like Power Rangers, obviously, and then create larger rats. And then when they're big enough, they roam around and they can beat the cats in fights. But that might not be what is actually happening. What could happen, though, you need these fake dogs, and that could be what furries have been, mate. The next show, if someone would like to fund this, please get in touch, and I would very much like to make it. But then, and then you interview them afterwards, going, "Oh, why did you tell everyone you were Paul Denan? Do you know what I mean? Why did you say that? Why did you say you were that guy off of EastEnders from 2008 and who had a brief appearance in Emmerdale in 2013? Why did you agree? Why did you say you were one of the kids on Shameless? Well, why would you even agree to this?" And they're like, "I don't know, I just thought it'd be all right, I thought it'd be okay, but I don't like," because they're pissed and they're riled up and they've been called a liar and loads of people pointing at them, and you want to make them cry, innit? You're trying to make these people cry, but then there's the other side of it, because that'd get a bit boring. And then you get, as a little extra, I thought I'd find out the titles of those shows for you. So the first clip you heard was from episode 94, Daily Update 94, called Paratrooper Deploy. Oh no, sorry, just bear with me a second, I've got to get it right. That's actually 294. If I put in update 094, Snap Council and Fox are people being bred in housing estates to lure in a race of fox people. Then we've got the second clip you heard was 169, which is called Red v Blue. Then you heard the third one is 176, Daily Update 176, Giants versus Dragons. Then we had episode 282, which is The Hats Trick. That was about a race of aliens coming down and building top hats to hide the antennas on their heads. I remember that one. I don't often remember many of these, to be honest with you. Episode 189, That's What Talking About. So that'll be one where I'm probably fixated on toilets or something along those lines. It happens occasionally. I get obsessed with them and I start to panic. Remains to be seen. Daily Update 128. The description underneath says, "God bless the deaf." The next one, number 7, was 202. Master Data. Then we've got number 8, which is 50. Sonic the Hedgehog Mood Light, that episode was called. Number 9, 155. That episode was called X Factory Reset. There's no description for that one either, so that could be anything. A lot of these could be anything. They're not planned out like that, they're just things in my head. And I've found that it's good to get them out of my head and put them into this. It puts a lot less strain on my relationship with my missus, because I'm not saying it all to her, boring her or doing her head in or saying weird shit to her all the time. What's the next one? Number 10 was episode 80, and that was called What Are You Talking About? Is Water a Lie? So you can see that's is a theme that comes up a lot, especially in August 2022, around 2022. A lot of very manic might not be the right word to use, weird fixations. Number 11, episode 59. Sticking with a few old ones. I've just picked these at random. This one's called Internet Rations. You can also find some of the full episodes of this, maybe 3, on this feed here on Spotify or Apple or wherever it is you're listening to this. And then the last one, episode 298, pretty recent episode, that one. And that one's called Striptease. That's TV Gold, it says underneath it in the description. So you got a nice little sample there. Maybe it's put you off. Maybe this was a dumb thing to do. Maybe you've thought to yourself, you know what, I would really like to hear these. And if you do, look at the link in the description, patreon.com/worldaroundyou. You can join for £3 or so. That's my dog. You can hear snoring in the background if the microphone is picking that up. You'll hear that in the background of some of the Patreon ones as well, because it is literally just, I've had a thought, hit record, speak about the thought, whether it's 5 minutes, 20 minutes, it doesn't matter to me, I'm not arsed. No editing goes into them, just whatever's in my head, get it out my head, crack on with the rest of my day. There's other episodes on there as well where I read comments from angry people online or overly horny people maybe on my Facebook page in years gone by. I'm reading antique books as well at the minute. I'm reading a book called Etiquette for Women, which is a book from the early 1920s, I think it is, and it's teaching women how to behave in public from the perspective, I believe, of a woman. I also believe that she's got a stationery shop as well, because she's basically just trying to sell business cards on every page to people. It's genius in marketing, but quite interesting. There's all sorts of stuff on there, discount codes as well for the website for certain things. You'll find all sorts, man. Give it a go, and don't forget to leave a 5-star rating on the show where you're listening to publicly, even if you don't want to sign up to Patreon, because it helps me out and it helps me reach more people. Share your favourite episode in your stories or whatever. If you're in a decent Discord where you think people might find it funny, share it in there, mate. It all helps. Anyway, just a little teaser for you on it, so I'll fucking see you next week with a regular episode.